What's the word, everybody? It's Said Talks from Said Talks TV, and I'm not even gonna waste any time. Y'all see the title of the video. We're gonna jump right on into it and get started with this conversation.
To have more compassion and more understanding.
Something that really bothers me and honestly has given me a sense of a little bit of an insecurity is the fact that there are all these women throwing themselves, but me the past 10 years I don't have any of that. I have zero, this sounds weird, but male attention. And so then I begin to internalize it, and I'm is something wrong with me?
You're not looking.
What?
You're not looking. You're not even. But I'm gonna tell you something else too. When your radar's turned off.
Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right on into that. Aside from the fact that Shorty's on here looking like Mrs. Puff from SpongeBob, this is a bad look. You know what I'm saying? You coming on here talking about you want male attention. Your husband is a fucking NBA legend. Your husband is a great NBA player. Your husband is Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? So you're one of the most famous NBA couples in the world. And you're talking about you want male attention from other men? That is insane. And I don't know why she thought it was a good idea to go link up with Jada Pinkett Smith. We all seen what she did to Will. I mean, she was cheating on Will with a singer who was half her age. Then Will went up on stage and smacked Chris Rock in the face. We ain't seen Will Smith in a good movie since. So we got to start having women who are good women not be standing next to the women that we see as hoes. Because ultimately, one bad apple spoils the bunch. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I don't know for sure if Jada and Ayesha are two different kinds of women. I think they might be two different ends of the same coin. But in the clip, you could see that Steph Curry's mom was sitting right next to Ayesha Curry. And of course, she ultimately told her that she's not really paying attention and seeing the attention that she gets. But you're a married woman talking about how you want men to look at you the same way that women look at Steph when he is the breadwinner. He's the guy who's the upper echelon of NBA players. He's not a regular NBA guy. Let's not get it misconstrued. He's not a regular NBA guy. He's an NBA legend. And you're still married with him. You guys got married at a very young age. You guys had children at a very young age. And you guys have been together for a long time. But it ultimately shows that a lot of times women get involved in situations and they don't know what they really want. And ultimately, when they go to the internet, they think that they are expressing their problems. They think that other women can relate to this. But ultimately, nobody can relate to you. You are the 1%. Your husband is halfway to being a billionaire. So regular women can't relate to you. But regular hoes think that they can because they're going through the same thing of feeling like, girl, I need to go ahead and, you know what I'm saying? I need to go ahead and, be with a guy who is making all this money, but I still need to have my identity. And that's not reality. You have your identity because you have the identity of being a woman and being a helpmate and being Steph Curry's wife. But at the end of the day, shorty, you is out here making the name look bad because you think that you getting attention from other men is making you look good. It's making you feel validated. You out here looking like a puffer fish. You out here looking like two chunky bunnies on one big back. And you talking about you want attention from other men. Ultimately, women want attention. But at the end of the day, you could have set a much better precedent by showing how or explaining how Steph gets all this attention and you don't want that. That he's still able to be faithful to you. And you know what I'm saying? That you don't really look for that at all. But you did the exact opposite. You made him look terrible. You made him look really, really bad. You made him look like a sucker. And you made people start having a conversation about, shit, should Steph have even got with this chick? Because let's be real. I'm not saying she's dusty looking, but she's no Beyonce. Let's keep it a buck, okay? And the bottom line is this. If it wasn't for Steph and that shot, boy, we wouldn't even know who the hell you is. And that's a fact. So, Ayesha. It'd be nice to meet you, but I couldn't be with you. You dig what I'm saying? Because she is really out of pocket, and she's embarrassing her man, and it doesn't look good for the NBA. And Steph is one of those guys who doesn't have a scandal, doesn't have an issue, doesn't have a problem. It doesn't really get much better than Steph Curry. You dig what I'm saying? Especially for a woman. But women want to be with a dude who's got a scandal, women want to be with a dude who's causing trouble, want to be with a dude who, is a bad guy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And Steph Curry's never really been a villain. He's always been a hero. And so I think people need to start embracing their villain arc, because especially when it comes to women, it's really showing you that ain't no pleasing them. Ain't no happiness in this life when it comes to trying to please a woman. It's happiness when it comes to achieving your goals, getting to the bag, staying in your purpose, and getting to this money. That's the purpose, that's the passion, and that's what you gotta do as a man in this life. But if you out here trying to please a woman, man, you're gonna get left in the dust, dog. You're gonna be out here looking like somebody who was running a race and only got one leg. You just gonna be hopping through life, hopping and hoping, dog. And it's sad, but that's reality. And this is the thing. I've seen a lot of people have conversations about this, but a lot of times they often miss the fact that Del Curry was an NBA role player, but he was still a very good player in his own right. He definitely could shoot. He definitely played a significant role, and he definitely secured a significant bag while with his time on the Hornets. And so therefore, Ayesha knew who Steph was probably going to become. He was always in the NBA locker room, even as a little kid. Steph was around NBA guys. So that culture was amassed around him. So he's always known what he wanted to do. He's always played ball. It just was a matter of time. It's the goal that you want, and it's where you're going. And then it's the time that's in between there of where you haven't got to yet. Steph knew where he was going. Let's not try to act like Steph was just some dweeb, some geek, some lame, some loser, bro. His dad was an NBA player. He's born with a bag. So at the end of the day, we all know that as the father goes, so does the son majority of the time. Whether it's a street dude, whether it's Donald Trump, whether it's a businessman, whether it's an NBA player. Look at LeBron and Bronny. A chick's not going to sit here and think that, oh, Bronny's not going to get close to being in the NBA, or Bronny's not going to play ball. Chances are, if your son ain't doing what you did in some form or fashion, it's probably not your kid. That's a topic for another, you know what I'm saying? So ultimately, let's keep it real. We knew Steph was going to be somebody. We just didn't know he was going to be as great as he was. But as his career went on, we slowly saw that. And as a woman getting married, even if she's young, it doesn't matter if Steph wasn't nothing. She still should have been committed to that man and staying on that man's side and being on that man's team and liking that man for who he was. But I think the problem here is she was more focused on what she could get out of the situation rather than rocking with who she really rocked with. She was just rocking to get on by and get on down the road and get her bag. She wasn't necessarily concerned with, this is the person who I love, and this is the person who I really am genuinely in it, locked in with. You know what I'm saying? She was really just worried about, if I lock in for a little bit, I can get the Louis, I can get the Porsche, I can get the Lambo, I can get the notoriety, I can get the bag, I can get the Birkin. She was more concerned with the lifestyle from the jump, probably. And so now that life is catching up with her, she's talking about how She never thought Steph was going to be a great player. She thought Steph was going to be an NBA. She thought Steph was going to be a high school basketball coach. Come on now. Let's be real. His dad is an NBA player. Let's be real. That's ultimately the ultimate goal, is to make it to where you're in the same position as your father and to do better. You know what I'm saying? You always want to do better than your father did. You don't want to do worse. You don't want to be the black sheep. Steph was never going to be the black sheep. That was clear from a very long time, in a very early age, that he wanted to be greater than his father. And he ultimately became that. And we ultimately know Steph. We ultimately know Seth. We ultimately know Dell. We ultimately know Ayesha Curry because of Steph Curry. And to be out here doing what she's doing on this podcast with Jada Pinkett Smith, talking about she wanted attention from other men, is insane, dog. It's insane. It's embarrassing. And it's disgusting. Nobody really cares. We don't care. You were on the internet with a cooking show. Cool. Because you're Steph Curry's wife. If you just put Ayesha, blank, fill in the last name, we wouldn't give about what you got going on. And that's just the reality. So to be a helpmeet means to help him reach levels that he is going towards, help him get there faster and make him look good and be a reflection of him. And that's not what she's doing, man. And that's the first thing, if we bring it all the way back, the first thing that she was talking about was after LeBron went down and chased down Block to get a chip. Chase down Andre Iguodala. Give me that. I need that. Yeah. And turn it into a championship. 4 rings. You dig what I'm saying? 4 of them. You dig what I'm saying? It was his 3rd at the time, but he got 4 of them now. So after the game, she tweeted, NBA is rigged. Can't believe I'm watching this live. What are we doing? We saying that the NBA is rigged as an NBA player's wife? One of the biggest NBA players in the game, a legend at that, we're tweeting that the NBA is rigged? That is crazy work. Where's the PR team? We're looking for him. I'm not Ray Charles, but I still can't see him. I don't understand. Stevie Wonder is still confused. So what's really going on, dog? I tell you what's going on. She has no type of awareness or understanding of what the spotlight looks like and what it means to really make your man look good. And it is bad PR. It looks bad. So that's the start of it. Then this is the next thing, what we just watched. Her talking about how she wants attention from other men. Terrible. No married woman should ever say that shit. Even if she thinks it, don't say it. We don't want to know. Who is that? No, not Tyler, the Creator. Who was it said the song? Maybe it was Bruno Mars made a song talking about don't let me know or whatever. If you're cheating, don't let me know. Whatever. Maybe it was The Weeknd. I think it was The Weeknd. Don't let me find out. Some shit. Keep him delusional is essentially what he was saying in the song. Big radio hit. Don't remember. Don't care. Not the point. But what I'm saying is, why are you telling the world that? We don't need you to tell him that, let alone, why are you telling the world? Why are you in a pocket with bald-headed Jada Pinkett, whose kids look crazy as crazy? I just seen Jaden with a house on his head. After Willow made Whip My Hair, she whipped the brain cells out her head. Will smacking people on stage. You can't be up there with her. But she was. And because of that, we in this situation. So now the latest that I seen on her is she's talking about how she didn't think that he was going to be as great as he became. But it's like, yo, his father was an NBA player. Why would he not be achieving to be that next thing, that next level? I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, and it's losing them money, because you got to think, when it comes to these type of players and this type of drama, you lose sponsorships, you lose deals. Like when it came to the whole Travis Hunter thing and his wife, and her twerking on dudes at a party and being on Snapchat looking crazy as hell, looking crazy. People on the internet telling him, hey, don't go down the same route as so-and-so. Save your money, get a prenup. Dude goes to a state where prenups are not valid and are not honored and gets married to her. We'll see in due time what that ends up being. We want him to not get divorced. We want him to have a prosperous career and be happy and live life. That's what we want. But a lot of times we've seen how getting no prenup, the woman who's twerking on men at a party, and her saying that she's not his type on the internet for the world to see, is a bad look, and it doesn't usually end well. So we've seen how that ends. Now, the other day, I seen a video with No Cap, and some streamer chick, 19-year-old girl. Floyd Mayweather comes up to her, boom, bam. How you doing? Let me get that number, baby. Hey, you dig what I'm saying? Pressing her, making a move on her. She says, nah, she's on camera, she's on stream, she don't really want to, for her move like that. You see what I'm saying? But ultimately, we know if the camera was off, it might have been a different ball game, right? You're talking about Floyd Mayweather touching $1 billion, close to $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? It's getting crazy out here. Close to $1 billion, right? We don't know for sure if she wouldn't have gave that number up, right? But we know that on the stream, she can't really turn the stream off and go straight to it. That looks bad. You can't do that. She gets in the car. She's on some, I hope this doesn't get clipped up. No, it's already clipped up, my baby. It's too late. We got you. It's too late. Not going. You see what I'm saying? So that's just what it is. She's clipped up. Now she's on the internet. She's already on the internet because she's a streamer, right? But then she gets on the internet talking about how her and No Cap get into it, and No Cap essentially telling her like, hey, don't be loyal to me, be loyal to the game. And it's like, hold on now, wait a minute, pause, let's time out. She told the man no. A lot of chicks would have went on live and wouldn't have gave a single, wouldn't have cared. You see what I'm saying? They wouldn't have cared, it wouldn't have mattered. So in my book, it's like shit. I mean, hey, it's a lot of different ways you could have played it, but he basically was like, nah, don't be loyal to your principles, be loyal to me. And it's like, shit, I mean, I'd rather catch her with the right mindset than try to catch her where she at and try to fix her mindset. Because a lot of times you can't fix a chick. You can't, you know what I'm saying? She got to want that for herself. You can't get with a person all the time and expect them to go to the gym and expect them to start going to the gym every day just because you go. A lot of times it can work. But if a chick's like, no, I'm not going, nigga. I'm finna eat Twinkies. I'm eating Doritos, hot dogs, hamburgers. You know what I'm saying? I'm eating junk food, cookies, Famous Amos. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen. So catch her where she at in a good space. And then when she's in a good space, then you go ahead and put her to what you want her to be and build her to what you want her to be. Don't try to turn an eagle don't try to turn a duck into an eagle. Find an eagle and make a flying formation. You dig what I'm saying? So, nah, bro, we can't do that. We out here looking for the women that's really on their purpose too, and really out here take care of business, and it's really about something. Not just a woman looking to leech off you and mosquito bite her way to a bag or to a good lifestyle, man. So I don't know. I don't really see too much wrong with it. I mean, it ain't nothing to fall out with your chick behind, though. You feel me? I think she probably shouldn't have said nothing to him. She probably should have ignored him. Real talk. That's what I train minds to do, to just ignore him. But, you know, same time, if she beefing with him on the internet, then right after it happened, then she really wasn't locked in like that. Or it was a situation where, you know, she kind of felt like, hey, she missed the opportunity. That's really what it could have been. You know what I'm saying? I really think that this whole Ayesha Curry situation, Steph Curry situation, really, it kind of brings me back to Michelle Obama and Barack Obama thing. You know, she was doing a lot of talking about how she didn't want Barack to be president, right? But it's like, dude was already in politics way before you met him. He was on his path to where he was going to become. And you're sitting here talking about you didn't want him to be that. He was already that. I think it's so, therefore I am. You dig what I'm saying? So he was already on that path, and that's what he wanted to do. And he let you know that, privy to you having them kids, privy to him becoming president, all that. And it's like, women sometimes be finding a way in every way to bring their man down and make him look less than he was. And that's a clear sign of a woman who does not like you. If she really liked you, she really rocked with you, she really loved you, she would not be trying to bring you down and make your legacy look weaker than what it ultimately is. Because every time you hear Michelle talk, she's bringing out Obama. She's bringing out what he did. Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and act like I agree with everything he did politically. By no means. But as a man, and looking at their relationship, you're seeing a woman who, at every chance she gets, is bringing his legacy down. She's not showing up for him. She didn't show up for him at Jimmy Carter's funeral. She wasn't showing up for him at I think Trump's inauguration. She was not showing up for him. And you've never seen a woman, a first lady, do that and really buck like that. You see what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate because it's a black woman, and so it feeds into the narrative of how black women are. But ultimately, it's a bad look. It's a bad look, and that's not couth, it's not kosher, and it's not the way that you should handle being the former first lady of the nation. And it's not the way that things should just go in a relationship, famous or not, money or not. It's not the dynamic, and it's not how the polarity should be. She's talking about how she wants to be the star. Similar to Ayesha, talking about how she wants to be the star. How she thought she was going to be the breadwinner. And it's like it's Batman and it's Robin. It's not Batman and another Batman. It's not Batman and Superman. It's Barack and Michelle, and you're Robin. You're not Batman. And you got the game messed up. And you think that you're that, and you're not. If you want to be that, go get with a sucker. Go get with a lame. Go get with a dude who don't have no purpose and don't have no drive and ain't trying to really accomplish nothing. Who's not really trying to get nowhere and be something. These men are all men who, from an early age, you could tell that they had something special that they were channeling and moving towards to get to their goals. And y'all are still trying to get along, to tag along, to ride along. And then when things don't look so bright or look so sharp, or when an NBA player retires, you want to divorce him, take his money, hop off the train, and say, no, I wasn't really rocking with that train. I didn't like it. I just took the free ride in first class that I didn't pay for. It's lame and it's stupid, and man, you guys got to watch out for it, dog. We got to watch out for that type of stuff. Because ultimately, it ruins your legacy. It doesn't matter what you do. If you got a woman out here that you're married to, or you could even have a daughter. You could even have a daughter. Look at Lawrence Fishburne. His daughter's out here in the streets, man. If you don't know, go hit Google. Out here, bro. And it ruins your legacy. Everybody around you represents you and is a part of you, and they should be carrying a part of them. They should be carrying a part of you with them everywhere they go, and thinking about what they do in their everyday life. And in a way it's possessive, but in a way you represent me, and you have to represent, and you have to stunt, and you have to be first class, and you have to be fly, and you have to be what I am in a sense. You can't be something different to the extent of making me look bad. You can't. Ghostface Killer, look at his son. Looks crazy, bro. Dropping a diss track on your father. Dog. Google that. It looks crazy, bro. It looks insane. And I don't think we could necessarily blame the guys, but when sometimes you have to get really picky about how you're choosing women, because that is one of the most important decisions you can make in your life. And here's the thing. A lot of times women are finicky and they're fluid, and it could change. It could change, bro, and you may not even know. And there may have been a small sign, but you got to have her on a program and have her in pocket, because if you don't, it's going to really make you look bad. It's going to make you look bad, bro. It's going to make you look bad. And I'm going to be honest, man. This is going to be a hot take, and I don't care. But I don't like the fact that Savannah has a podcast. I don't like it. No, I don't like the fact that she has a podcast, because all it's going to take is one slip up. It's going to take one slip up for that to tarnish LeBron's legacy. No scandals, no drama, no BS. For the most part, out of LeBron. Great career, lost in the finals, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Nobody said he's a 6-6 like Michael Jordan. May not be the greatest, might be the greatest. But he's definitely top 5. No discussion. Top 5 for sure. Right? But no scandals. Women in pocket. He's doing what he needs to do on his program. He's taking care of business. And he's not making anybody look bad. He's not making the community look bad. He's doing his thing. He's doing his thing. And you ain't got to worry about it with LeBron, right? But Savannah having a podcast, it's an easy slip up to where we can have an issue to where she says something and now somebody clips it up and it looks bad. That's why I don't like it. That's the only reason why I don't like it. Because for the most part, she has been the epitome of what it looks like to be the wife of a famous man and not draw any extra attention to yourself, not cause any problems. But her having a podcast now, it looks bad. Because we know where it could go. You see what I'm saying? We know where it could go. And we just hope that she treads lightly. We hope that she treads very lightly for a long time, as long as she's got this podcast to where it doesn't make him look bad. Because we would be very upset if it does end up making him look bad. Because Kevin Gates already tried LeBron with the whole white women look at LeBron a certain way nonsense. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if there was any validity to his point. Maybe it was, right? But ultimately, you kind of making yourself look bad, Kevin. You're putting a spotlight on yourself because 2 weeks later, you got divorced and you was only married for like a month. And then the chick that was down with you for the longest, you got divorced from her a little bit before that. And you got with a 304, but cuffed the 304, and then after a month, divorced her. So people is maybe listening to what you're saying, but it's going in one ear and out the other because you divorced after a month. But he tried it. He tried LeBron's legacy by saying what he said, in a way. But it don't matter because it's like, shit, man. You know what I'm saying? You twice divorced in the same year. So it really don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? Because they say it may be the right message, wrong messenger. But when it looks like that, it's like, man, we ain't trying to hear what you're saying. We rock with you, but we not really trying to hear what you're saying based off of what just happened. You see what I'm saying? So I think men got to be real careful. If you know that you're going to be successful and you know that you're trying to go in a certain direction and you know that you have a certain particular purpose and you're trying to get there and you're going to stop at nothing to get there, you got to be careful who you have in your circle. And majority of the time, you're the summary of the 5 people you hang around. And if you hang around your woman and she lives with you 24/7, she's always around you, she's going to be a reflection of you. And that's just the bottom line. So you got to be careful. And you really definitely have to be careful. Because a lot of times women don't know no better, man. They don't be knowing no better. Sometimes they do, but sometimes they don't, man. It's like you gotta be the PR for your chick and really school her and bring her up to date on game and let her know, like, hey, we're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Handle this situation like this, handle this situation like that. You know what I'm saying? Because we all learn as we go, but at the end of the day, it only takes one wrong move to mess up a legacy and a lifetime legacy of making the right move. And it's unforgiving a lot of times. So gotta be smart, man. Definitely gotta be smart, man. Definitely, man. Because all these women knew who their man was gonna be. LeBron knew who her man was gonna be. Steph knew her. Ayesha knew who her man was gonna be. Michelle knew who her man was gonna be. Jada knew who her man was gonna be. And she always was talking about Tupac. So you knew she didn't really like Will like that. And the problem with it is a woman will pick a dude who she really don't like. And then when it bites her in the butt later,